outside the calm usually found in Tehran, mentioned here only for context. The real storm was brewing far away in the heart of Texas Hill Country. On what began as a tranquil autumn evening, the peace shattered at precisely 7:30 p.m. over Kerrville and San Antonio. Within moments, chaos descended from the heavens like a demon unleashed. Baseball-sized hail hammered rooftops with the force of artillery fire. Windshields exploded, and streets turned white as if winter had suddenly arrived months early. The deafening roar, like thousands of slingshots firing gravel at once, filled the air. Power lines snapped. Trees split down the middle. The night vibrated with thunder and the metallic clang of hail battering cars, a merciless assault from the sky. Texas had already endured months of record-breaking heat and drought. To many, this sudden storm felt biblical, an omen of nature's wrath. That night, the line between peace and disaster vanished in seconds. Earlier that afternoon, meteorologists at the National Weather Service had noticed the signs. A powerful cold front was colliding with warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico, an explosive recipe for severe weather. By 6 p.m., radar screens lit up in crimson and purple, signaling that supercell storms were quietly taking shape west of San Antonio. Not long after sunset, the first alerts sounded. Kerr County was placed under a severe thunderstorm warning, winds up to 70 miles per hour, hail larger than golf balls. Minutes later, new data came in. The hail core had intensified, with stones approaching 3 inches in diameter. Residents were urged to shelter indoors, stay away from windows, and move their vehicles to safety. But for many, the warning came too late. At 7:35 p.m., reports began flooding in. Hail pounded Kerrville's rooftops as wind tore through fences like a raging beast. Lightning split the sky like white-hot knives. Social media live streams captured hail exploding on driveways, families watching helplessly as their cars and windows were smashed to pieces. Along Interstate 10, drivers pulled over as visibility dropped to zero, swallowed by darkness. The storm wasn't just intensifying, it was preparing to unleash its full fury.
Then,
without warning, at 7:40 p.m., the heavens opened. The sound was like a freight train roaring through town. Baseball-sized hail, some nearly 3 inches wide, pummeled everything in sight. Roofs buckled under the barrage. Windshields shattered like sugar glass. Porch lights flickered and went dark, and transformers exploded in blue flashes on the horizon. One homeowner later said, "It felt like someone dumped bags of rocks from the sky." Steam rose from the streets as warm air collided with the sudden cold, creating an eerie, dreamlike fog, a haunting beauty born of destruction. In downtown Kerrville, car alarms wailed in unison. Trees were stripped bare, like plucked birds. At Calvary Temple Church, dozens of cars were left dented beyond recognition. Even hardened Texans, used to wild weather, were stunned into silence. In the outskirts, dispatchers fielded frantic calls from people trapped in their cars, windows shattered, glass raining down as they searched desperately for cover. In just minutes, the quiet heart of the hill country had transformed into an icy war zone. "Oh my God," echoed through the chaos. By 8:15 p.m., the worst had passed, but the damage was staggering. Streets were carpeted in white hail, as if snow had fallen overnight. Broken glass, twisted metal, and splintered branches covered the roads. Emergency lights flickered across neighborhoods plunged into darkness. Linemen raced to restore power to hundreds of homes while firefighters navigated slick, icy streets to check for injuries. Gusts over 80 miles per hour had ripped shingles from roofs and snapped power lines, leaving once cozy homes scarred and exposed. Cars along I-10 were pitted and shattered, resembling survivors of a battlefield. In some parts of the hill country, hail piled inches deep, clogging drains and flooding low-lying areas. Residents shoveled their driveways like it was winter, weary but resilient. Lightning still flashed on the horizon as thunder rolled through the valleys, a surreal calm after the storm. By midnight, the National Weather Service confirmed it was one of the most severe hailstorms to strike central Texas in over a decade. Yet as Texans began to take stock, the storm system pushed eastward, refusing to rest through the night. Intense thunderstorms marched from Austin toward Nashville. Radar showed a massive squall line sweeping across the southern plains. Millions were under severe thunderstorm watches. Meteorologists warned of damaging winds, torrential rain, and more giant hail. The NOAA Storm Prediction Center issued emergency alerts covering East Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and western Tennessee. Airports in Austin and Dallas reported delays as pilots waited for lightning to subside. Drivers on highways sat helpless as sheets of rain reduced visibility to nothing. At 10:30 p.m., the town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi, devastated by a deadly tornado in 2023, reported rotating clouds and strong gusts, reviving painful memories. This is the same front that hit Kerrville. Fox Weather's Kendall Smith said grimly, "It's regaining strength as it moves east. Conditions are ripe for more severe weather." The storm that froze Texas was now awakening the entire South. By dawn on October the 8th, 2025, the hill country looked as if it had been bombed. Streets in Kerrville, Comfort, and Bowen shimmered under pale orange light, littered with shattered glass and melting hail that trickled into icy streams, a silent testimony to the terror of the night before. Auto shops were packed, insurance lines flooded, and farmers in Bandera County stood heartbroken over orchards of young pecan and peach trees destroyed in minutes. Roofs torn open, paint stripped from cars, windows smashed, It looked like the aftermath of an invisible war. Still, Texans did what they always do. They pulled together. Neighbors cleared driveways, tarped broken roofs, and sheltered families whose homes had flooded. Amid ruin, humanity shone bright. The National Weather Service called it one of the strongest hail events in recent years, with stones between 2, 5 and 3 inches, nearly the size of baseballs. By evening, local news and social media repeated the same phrase, only in Texas. It was a reminder that in the Lone Star State, nature can turn from calm to chaos in an instant, but resilience runs deep in every Texan's heart. As night fell once more, calm returned, but the memory of that violent Sunday lingered. Videos of baseball-sized hail battering rooftops and 80-mile-per-hour winds tearing through neighborhoods went viral within hours, making Kerrville a new symbol of America's struggle with extreme weather. Meteorologists called it a Texas-style outbreak, unpredictable, explosive, and fierce, much like the spirit of the people themselves. Beyond the data and radar maps, what truly endures are the human stories. A family huddled under a dining table, praying as hail shattered their skylight. An elderly couple holding hands as their roof groaned overhead. A neighbor sprinting through flying debris to cover a stranger's car. Nature's fury is universal, but so is our resilience. Every storm tests us. Every act of rebuilding proves that the human spirit endures. As Texas rebuilds once again, one truth remains: nature may have the last word, but never the final say. On this land, Texans write their own legend, with grit, courage, and heart. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because staying informed isn't just awareness, it's preparedness. Together, we can face whatever nature throws our way.